Hi, hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are
Yes, La long time.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
You're going to have your staff join, is that correct?
Me and the other students.
Other students. Okay, I
Yes.
have one of my students
Oh,
who
good.
was here as an exchange student and she's come back to do her master's with us.
Okay.
She's from Lahore, and I thought it might be a nice to have her join us and talk about her experience. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
very nice, very nice.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay. So she just filled out that form that I just did, so she may have be trying to get in now.
all right, okay. And do you have any plan to visit Pakistan in near future?
I don't know. My husband's going over in January, but
Okay,
at the present time, I don't. So we'll
okay,
see what happens. But
okay.
yeah.
Yes, yes. If your husband is coming, then next time after this visit, whenever he comes again, try to come with him and spend few days in Lahore, Islamabad, and Karachi to for the admission seminars.
Okay.
Yes, we will be with you in Islamabad and Lahore.
Okay. All
Yes,
right. Well,
yes.
he's in Pindi,
It's
usually
been
stays in Pindi, and he's a Karachiwala. So, I mean, those are the two cities he usually comes to very
yeah.
frequently. So,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, there's Nimra. She's my student
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, fine, and welcome to in this event. And I'm making both of you as a co-host so that you can show your presentation. And I welcome you in this event so that you are, in fact, you are the ambassador for our students because you are from Pakistan.
Are you talking about me?
Yes, you are full ambassador, and um,
I mean,
uh,
Jyoti, Jyoti.
and and Mrs. Chris is half ambassador because he's half Pakistani, half American. Yes. So I think we can do a lot due to because you have also connection in Pakistan, and now we have this lady, so I can we can do a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That's
Yes.
great.
So
And we've had quite a few. How many Pakistani students do we have, Nimra? Do you run
I
into?
think around 40. That's what I got to know. I'm not sure if that number is correct, but I got that number last week. So
Mhm.
for now, I think that. But we have a lot of Indian students, I can say that.
mm,
From all over South Asia, we have students. So
Yeah, yeah.
mm, 40 students are still a good number, and we hope we will also uh, uh, send our share in coming future, inshallah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I'm just give me a minute so that I can make you as a co-host. And meanwhile, you can chit chat with the students.
okay, great. Hello, everybody. We're looking forward to chatting with you. And so I wanted Nimra to join us today because she was an exchange student here. So she did 1 year of her bachelor's, but then she came back to do her master's, her MBA. So she has much more experience, similar to yours than I do. My office just helps with that kind of thing. All right. You want to say a little bit about yourself, Nimra?
sure. I'm not sure which students do we have here. If if you would like to tell what degree you're doing, I'd be more precise about where I connect with you guys, if that's possible. No? Okay. As an exchange student in 2022 here in NEIU from UMT Lahore, I came here as an exchange student for 1 semester, but I got it extended till 2 semesters. I liked it very much. So once I graduated from from Pakistan, I came back for my MBA, and I'm almost graduating from my MBA as well. NEIU doesn't offer PhD programs, otherwise I'd go for that. But I love it here, and it is a very diverse school, and they do cater a lot of nationalities. I've met like over 20 nationalities for now, by now, so it's amazing.
Yeah. Mhm.
How has your experience been with the professors? I think your college is very diverse, right, in terms of the
Yes.
faculty.
Yeah. Professors are super accommodating. So far, so good. Ever since I've came here, I've run into all kind of issues and problems as an international person could, because new place, new people, new environment,
Yes.
you need help from a lot of students, a lot of faculty members, a lot of instructors. So I find it very convenient here because everyone's there for help every time I call out. Everyone's there for me. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
And then you're getting to do a research project next semester, is that right? Can you say a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So I just started my research. I'm doing it this semester and next semester. Until I graduate, I plan to get it published. So I just started a research project with one of my professors. She's from Turkey, and she've done a lot of research in supply chain area, especially humanitarian supply chain. So I just started doing that. My project topic is humanitarian supply chain resilience. We're gonna do a literature review and probably add in a model for like future humanitarian crisis or whatever we feel can make the supply chain of aid that goes to different countries more smooth and more what do you call it, useful for people who are in crisis. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And what about your experience while you were in American Embassy to apply your visa? What was your experience during interview?
During interview, so I got 2 types of visas. First one was J1, the second one was F1. For J1, they just asked me who's gonna be my sponsor, why am I going there, why this university, what else? Just that kind of questions, and some of my family history, because a lot of my family is here in US. So they just wanted to know what am I gonna do in US, and yeah, it was a very friendly interview for me.
Okay.
So yeah, it was not bad. And the second time I went there, it was like 3 to 4 minute interview because they already had everything. And they just looked back on my J1 visa and my documentations from back then. And yeah, I was good to go.
Yes, visa is very straightforward for Pakistani students. They just need to get appointment, and embassy almost take 1 minute to 2 minutes during the to talk to the student, and an embassy have only interest in with the I-20 and the passport, nothing else, and the embassy asks different questions regarding why this university, why US, why this program, who is sponsoring you. So it's very easy and straightforward. And I personally, I'm very happy with the visa process with US. Yes, even embassy sometimes mm, don't look the bank statement as well. Just I-20 and the passport and the person.
No, you
Yes.
don't have to give the bank statement to the embassy.
Yes.
You have to send it to the university to get
Yes.
your I-20.
I-20. Yes, you're right.
And we do check those quite carefully.
Yes.
Because part of, part of what determines whether students get visas is, does the school have a good reputation with the government? So if we have students coming in that, run away and don't finish their degree or that kind of thing, we get known by the embassy as a school that's not obeying the rules. So we're very, very, very careful in our office to make sure that all of our students have the right documentation to get in. And then we have a very good success rate. We very rarely see students leave or not complete their degrees. Usually they stay for OPT and then OPT STEM extension. Some of them get H-1B visas, but the other ones do go back. So we're not contributing to kind of the problems that sometimes occur with immigration. We're trying to be very much following the rules.
Yes. And we also do the same practice. We always check the educational gap. We always check the financial position, the grades, IELTS, TOEFL, and PT, because these few things tell us that if a student is serious or non-serious, or genuine or non-genuine. So we all and after getting I-20, we prepare our student for the interview as well. We just give idea about the interview, that what type of question they can have, they can face. So we always take care about, you can say, the filtration, that we should send only serious and quality students. Yeah.
And I also do visa interviews with students to prep them.
Okay.
And I think there's two strategies. The role of the visa officer is to make sure that the student is being honest and telling the truth and finding out information. So sometimes they will use strategies of being very, very friendly to make you relax. And sometimes they use strategies of being very tough, right? To kind of scare you into telling the truth. So I usually do visa practices and I pretend to be a friendly officer, and then I turn around and I pretend to be kind of an unfriendly officer, so that whatever happens in that interview, the student knows that either of those approaches, and it's kind of like acting, right? Because the visa officer is there to elicit the truth of your situation and the truth of what you're saying. So they're going to use these strategies. And if you know that, then maybe you're less scared when you go. So yeah, I like to do it. And sometimes I think it's good when the agents do it as well. But sometimes if they have to talk to an American, maybe it's the next level of being a little bit scary. So I try to do that directly. So I'm always happy to help students do that.
Very good. In that case, we will take your help, inshallah.
Okay.
Next time. Yes.
Great.
For your students, we will always do the same, that we will hand over to you so that you can check, and it will help, it will improve the visa success, I think.
Yeah.
It's a very good idea. It makes sense. Okay. So we have few students at the moment, and also definitely we are also live on YouTube. So please, dear students, please unmute yourself and tell us about you. Like Taha, please unmute yourself and tell us about your qualification, and Mr. Ilyas and Rahmat.
I also do have a PowerPoint that I can share if that
Yes,
would
please.
make students so they could maybe learn a few things and maybe put their questions in the chat as well.
Yes.
Is that okay? Would you
Yes,
share my
please.
screen? Okay.
Yes, you can share. You are a co-host at the moment.
Great. So I'm going to go here. Let's see here. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yes, we can
Okay,
see.
perfect. So let me put this on slideshow mode. If I can get it to work. Okay, is that you should see a picture with NEIU and a building and kind of a cloudy sky. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. So this is a picture of our campus in the fall, about this time of year. So the trees are starting to change their color. And let's see if I can get this to move. Okay, so I'm Dr. Chris Tuffalo. I'm a professor, and I also direct the Office of International Programs, which is the office that works with the international students.
Chris?
Yes?
So we're just seeing the full version of your TTP, but PPT, I'm sorry. But it's stuck on the first slide. If you share
Oh,
if you share
okay.
your whole screen, then it probably gonna go.
Is that? All right, maybe I should.
Yeah, you can probably reshare.
Let's see. Okay, wait a second. Let me get out of here. Slideshow. So you're saying, no, I've got something else up on my screen. Okay, so you're saying share the slideshow first and then reshare?
How about you share the slideshow and let me check if it works.
Okay.
So no, we're just like we're on the previous screen still.
Okay. So let me go here. Am I sharing? Let's see. Okay, I can maybe do it not with the slideshow. What about now?
If you go to the next slide, let me check.
Okay, can try it
Yeah,
that.
now it's working.
Now it's working. Okay, so
Yes.
you have to see the little bit. Okay, so I've already been to that slide. We don't need to do that again. Okay, so we're going to be talking a little bit about Northeastern Illinois University, or NEIU. And you can see that red rectangle there in the middle. That's where we're located. We're in Chicago, which is the third largest city in the United States. And we're right on Lake Michigan, which is beautiful like an ocean. You can see kind of a close-up there. And those are the skyscrapers of the downtown of Chicago. We're the first city in the world to ever have skyscrapers. But our campus is located a little bit north of the downtown. So on this side, this slide where you see the word Chicago, that's the downtown. And then where you see the N up at the top, that's where our school is, in a quiet, safe residential neighborhood. And you can see this over on the left-hand side, a red circle with an airplane in it. That's O'Hare International Airport. And it's about maybe 12 or 13 kilometers from the university to the airport. And we pick you up so you don't get lost. You make sure you get to campus okay. And then when you want to go from the university to the downtown for activities and those kinds of things, there's trains and buses that can take you there. It's a beautiful city, lots to do. It attracts about 55 million tourists every year because it's just a lot to do. This is a picture of our campus. It's 67 acres, quiet, peaceful, green area. And you can see in the top right here, you can see the skyscrapers from the downtown. So you can be as busy as a city if you want to be, and as peaceful as kind of a more calm neighborhood as you want to be. Here are some of the facts about our university. We're a public university founded in 1867, so just a little bit after Illinois became a full state. And I think the hallmarks of our university really are a supportive, caring faculty and a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you're going to get lots of individualized attention because class sizes are small, and they used very engaged teaching methods. Nimra, do you want to say a little bit about your classroom experience with the teachers?
Sure. So classrooms here are super nice. Like everything is super approachable, I can say. The class strength is not too much, or even if it is too much, like the professors make sure that they are paying attention to each and every question. Other than that, the professors are like very friendly, and they believe in making a relation with their students on a personal level and an academic level. That I think really helps. So for me, if I have any issues, I can always go to my professors. I can always go to my advisor. I can always go and just ask for their advice or suggestions. And I usually go to Chris as well. So yeah, it's like in Pakistan we do have some professors like that, but not always. What I've felt the difference between here and Pakistan, that sometimes professors there in Pakistan are so burdenized with a lot of academic things, they're not able to connect with us on a personal level. But here, it's not like that. Professors are very much able to connect with you. They have time for you. They have time to sit with you, meet with you, discuss about your issues, how like you're facing problems in academics or in settling down or whatever problems you have that are affecting your studies. You can just go in and talk to them about it. If not, then we also have career development here for career issues, and we have counseling services for personal issues. So I feel that we have a lot of accessible facilities on campus and resources that students can always avail, which I have personally availed. So it's really helpful.
Thank you, Nimra.
Mhm.
We're a very diverse community. There's people from all over the world, as well as from different communities inside the United States. Here's a breakdown of the student population currently. And we're a very safe community. So that's something else that's really nice. I like to talk about what is an education for, what is our philosophy, what an education for, and I like this quote very much. Our lives are more than our work, and our work in the world is more than our jobs. So certainly we're going to be training you to be successful in your career. But, in your life, you're not just a worker, right? You're a parent, you're a child, you're a neighbor, you're a citizen of your country. And all those things, educating you to be competent in all those realms is something that we really pride ourselves on. And so it doesn't matter what program you're in, we're going to develop your higher order thinking skills, creative problem solving skills, how to work collaboratively, the importance of being ethically and socially responsible, become an effective communicator, as Nimra is doing right now. And we think that that could provide you with a really strong foundation. If you have a strong foundation, you're going to be confident. And if you're confident, you're going to be able to take initiative, and that will make you successful in your life. We also, in this day and age where there's all these deep fakes and all of that coming on, and knowledge is changing so quickly, we really try to work on how to teach you how to keep teaching yourself even after you graduate, and how to tell the truth from the falsehoods that are out there. I'm going to skip through some of this. We're going a little bit slowly, I want to point out that we don't just lecture at students. Teachers use a lot of different kinds of pedagogies, project-based learning, writing intensive courses, service learning, capstone courses. Nimra, do you want to say a bit about maybe some of the ways you've been taught? Was it all lecture, or did you get to use some of these other ways as well?
I did get to use like a lot of other ways. So let me give you an example of the class I'm in right now. In every class, the professor, she teaches us a few concepts, and then she makes us go through a game and learn about those concepts. And everyone in that class super happy, and everyone is like learning together. And at the end of the game, if we get the answers wrong or if we get the concept wrong, the professor explains it again. There was another class in which I did a simulation. So we were doing, and so as a manager of a firm in that simulation, and I get to use all the formulas and all the concepts I was learning in class in that simulation, and it showed me a real-time effect on the company, on the business. Other than that, we do have a lot of seminars and a lot of networking events where if students go, they get extra credit and they can get to know more about different topics and different subjects of their field. So yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
Mhm.
And our library is linked to 91 other libraries. So one of the things we pride ourselves is on student research, and Nimra talked about that earlier. And it's really easy to do because if it's not in our library, you push a button and the materials will be sent to you within a day, usually from another library across the state of Illinois. And Chicago, like I said, is the third largest city. So there's internship opportunities. Students do their optional practical training for the year after they graduate, where they work full time. Sometimes research projects are happening in the city. Sometimes faculty will do field trips. And then if you're not doing something related to the university, it's hard to get bored because there's just so much going on in the city of Chicago. And this is our housing. It's an apartment building called the Nest, where 4 men or 4 women share an apartment. Nimra, you live in the Nest. Do you want to say a word about the
Yes,
Nest?
I do. I do live at the Nest. It is very convenient, and I've tried living off campus as well. That was also convenient, but not very safe, I would say. The Nest is safe. If you get a good roommate, it's great place to live at. It's on campus, so if you have a class at like 9 a.m., you can get up at 8:45 and come to the class in time. Um, yeah, other than that, so the good thing about the Nest is everyone there is a student, and you'll be able to connect to anyone and everyone at the Nest, and they host different events to keep the residents engaged and to not let them bore. So I think that's a plus point.
Great. And NEIU Northeastern is near Devon Avenue, which is the heart of the South Asian community. And you can find anything you want, any food, any spice. There's both shops and there's restaurants. I joke with Nimra, if she decides to get married, she can find her wedding jewelry and her sari and whatever it is that she wants, right? Has that been your experience, Nimra? You find food from home that you like?
Yeah. So all of my groceries, most of my grocery comes from Devon. Um, we do have Pakistani and Indian stores there. So if we Pakistanis want to try something Indian, we can always go there. And we have Usmania restaurant here, which is in Pakistan as well. We have Bundu Khan here. We have a few of clothing brands here like J Dot, Raffia, like you name it, we have it. It's like small Pakistan, but
Even the way
just
people
in one
drive.
state. Yeah. And it's not that far away from the university. I've tried walking there, I've tried biking there, and I've tried taking CTA bus, that is a local Chicago transportation. Um, it is very convenient, and yeah, it's like if you're homesick, you can always go there just for a walk or something.
So there's lots of other great locations. This is our El Centro campus. There's lots of clubs. This is where we encourage you to join them to meet students, develop your leadership skills, build your resume. You're speaking to a student leader of a club right now. Nimra is president of the International Club, right, Nimra?
Yes, I am the president of International Club and a treasurer for another club that just formed, Spark. And yeah, it's been amazing.
Good, good. So there's lots of fun activities. And when you're not in class, there's a lot of other things that go on. For example, the Chicago Czech Cancer Research
Another
Project
club that just formed.
and um, math modeling workshop. I never knew what that was, but when the pandemic hit, everybody needed to model the advance of the COVID pandemic. And so all of a sudden everybody was doing modeling of different things. And so the workshop has kind of educated people on how to do math modeling that can be used in the real world. We have many opportunities for students here to study abroad as well. You could do a semester at another campus, and our faculty pick up and travel with students as well. A 1 or 2 week trip, going to different countries. On New Year's Eve, myself and another faculty member will be taking students to Burundi. We'll have a trip going to Ghana. We'll have another one going to France. We're going to have another one going to Belize this year. There's about 5 trips every year. So now, if you're interested in getting a bachelor's degree, these are some of our most popular bachelor's degrees with international students, although we have many, many, many more. And the ones in STEM are shown up in bright red because those are, you're able to stay for 3 years and work after you graduate if you go to a STEM program. So some of the information about how to apply, it's quite easy. You need a grade point average of 2.5 on a 4.0 scale, which is about a 63%. It's free to apply. We have 3 intakes every year. You do need to show proof of English language, but if you went to an English language high school, we can get that waived. Now, for the graduate programs, again, the ones that are STEM, so which means you can work for 3 years after you graduate, they're showing up in red. And we have a STEM MBA and a STEM Masters of Accounting and a STEM Environmental Studies program. And I mention those in particular because it's rare for US schools to have those programs STEM certified. If they're not STEM certified, you can stay and work for 1 year after you graduate, but the STEM designation gets you 2 additional years of work if that's something you want to do. To apply for the graduate program, depending on what program, it can be $30 cost to apply or $88 cost to apply. But we do, for both undergraduates and graduates, we are offering free transcript evaluations for you in-house. No GRE or GMAT is required, except if you want to apply for the MBA or the Masters of Accounting. You do need a 4-year undergraduate degree. You need a grade point average of 2.75, which is about a 69%. You need a small personal statement explaining what you want to do with your degree, 2 letters of recommendation, and again, your English language, which can be waived. We have 3 different colleges. The College of Arts and Sciences here is our biggest college. That's a picture of my son, actually. And there, for the students who are science students, there's a special center where they can study together, meet with their professors, they get grants, all those kinds of things. The oldest part of the university is our College of Education, where all our counseling programs are. Our exercise science program and our public health program is there, as well as all of our education programs. And then the College of Business, which has earned AACSB accreditation, which only about 5% of the world's business schools have earned. And here are all our degrees in the College of Business, which is a very popular one with Pakistani students. And again, the things listed in red are STEM, which means you can stay for 3 years. So you see both the undergraduate computer science programs are STEM, as well as all of our master's programs in this college. There's also a business innovation center where you can learn to grow your own business. I'm going to skip this just now because we have a live person. We don't need to deal with the alumni. And then let me just talk a little bit about the costs, because that's what is important to everybody, I know. So there's a lot of numbers on this screen. Let's start in the bottom left here. And this is annual living costs for 12 months. So you'll want to ask the school, how much does it cost for everything? Room, food, insurance, books, housing, all that kind of different thing. So if you live on campus, it's a little bit cheaper than if you were to rent, say, a small apartment off campus. So it's about $20,700 if you live on campus, a little bit more if you live off campus. Now, we do know students, maybe 4 people will pack themselves into a 1-bedroom apartment and get lower price off campus sometimes, but officially we can't give that number to the government. We have to list this as our official number. Now, so every year it'll cost you this much, and then you have to think about how much your tuition and fees are going to cost. And when you're looking, comparing universities, always ask both about the tuition plus the fees, because that's your real cost that you're going to have to pay to the university. So we list ours. For an undergraduate, it's going to be about $22,700 a year. For a graduate student, it's less. It's $17,000. Unless you're in the College of Business, it's about $18,600. Now, compared to private universities, this is much, much, much less. And even compared to other publics, we're slightly less. The reason the graduate programs are less than the undergraduate programs is because you only have to take 3 classes a semester. For the undergraduate programs, you have to take at least 4 or maybe 5. We also do have an English as a second language program. For those of you who need some help with your academic English, I can talk about that if you need it. But if not, I'm going to stop talking and let you ask us some questions, and I'll stop sharing my screen. And I thank you for indulging me here. Let's see if I can get this to go down. So I'm going to stop this. Let's see. Okay, so I think I should be back to just being able to chat with everybody. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, great. So if anybody has any questions for me or for Nimra, who's doing her MBA, please put them in the chat or shout them out, unmute yourself. And I see there are some questions in the chat. Let's see, are you offering master's programs in business finance? If yes, what is the duration of the master's and the fees? So I just showed you the fees. Plan on, it's going to cost you about $40,000 per year for everything. That's 12 months of living, plus your tuition, plus your fees. It's a 2-year program. Nimra, do you want to say a little bit about that? Because
Yeah.
you're in the MBA program.
Yeah, I already replied to that comment.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it there. Yep, yep. Let's see. What are the requirements for admission? Okay, so I just covered those. It's
And
about a 2.5. Yep.
I've sent a link for our website where they can find more. Yeah.
See, this is why we love working with our students. They're great students, right?
Yeah.
We don't have PhD programs, no. But we can, if you're looking for a master's program in political science, we have one of those. And our faculty have a very good track record of helping our students get to leading universities for PhDs. I don't know, Nimmer, you're not in political science, but I know you want to go for a PhD in business. What's your sense of the kind of advising or assistance you've gotten in that direction?
So, I just started the research, and my professor, who am I researching with, she is gonna help me looking for universities for PhD. It's when you're here, it's not that hard to like look into schools and universities to go to. You can always like visit them or email them or just like ask one of your professor where they did their PhD from or which school is like the best for us, because they're the ones who have already been through that process. So I think it's, yeah, everyone's always like there for you to let you know which school is better for you, which school should you go to next, and they can even like write you reference letter and recommend people to talk to. So yeah.
Let me just say a little bit. The United States has 50 states, and there's 5 which always have the most international students. It's New York, obviously, California, obviously, Texas, Illinois, and Florida. Now, right now, New York and California will be probably more expensive than Illinois, even though Chicago is a fairly expensive city, but it's a little bit less expensive than, say, New York City or San Francisco or something like that. I would say right now, if you're thinking of going to either Florida or Texas, ask hard questions. The governors of those states have had rhetoric that's very hostile to immigrants in the last couple of years. And of course, Florida has been suffering from weather events. So I know a lot of people do have family in different parts of the country, but I think sometimes Illinois gets overlooked, although we are in the top 5. but I think we're a good destination, and certainly the city of Chicago is a very welcoming city to people from all over the world. About 13% of the people here are foreign born. If you walk along the lake, which is something I love to do, if you do it on a weekend, you'll see families, like you might hear 10 different languages. And you'll see families having picnics, just from people from all over the world. So I find it to be a very international city, a very welcoming city. I don't know, Nimra, if you want to add or say or contradict me, maybe. I don't know.
No, you're right. This is a very welcoming city, and everyone here, probably some people here on the streets will say you hi or will say assalamu alaikum to you if they see you and they recognize you. So yeah. Um, Other than that, it's been like crazy to see how many nationalities there are in Chicago, especially. I've been to other states as well, but my biased opinion is I like Chicago better than New York. I'm sorry if someone here is a New York fan, but Chicago is much more clean and very welcoming. So, yeah.
Thank you, Nimra. I think that kind of concludes what we were going to say. If folks have some more questions, we're happy to answer them. But I don't want to keep people beyond the time that they need to.
If you want, you guys can ask me questions in Urdu as well. मैं अभी आई हूँ पाकिस्तान से, तो I know Urdu. It's been a few months only, so yeah.
Well, I'm going to put my, so I'm Dr. Chris Toffolo, and here is my email. I'm putting it in the chat. And I'm also going to put my WhatsApp because I'm on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp all the time. And you can contact me if you want to have an individualized conversation or just chat, text me, whatever. And I'm here to help you. That's what my job is here at the university. And we'd love to welcome you. You will get an airport pickup if you decide to come on the right day. And in addition, we run something called the Free Store, which provides kind of, dishes and those kinds of things to help you set up your apartment. Can our credits be transferred if we already have enrolled in? Yes. So for a master's degree, you can so most of our master's programs are about 30 to 32 credits. Each course is 3 credits. You can typically transfer in 3 classes or 9 credits. That's pretty much what we'll take because we want you to have the rest of the courses from us so that you're really kind of, we can say we know what you've learned because you've taken the classes with us. Is a master's in political science scholarship possible? So what happens with scholarships at the graduate level is typically you have to completely self-finance for the first semester. After that, each department has a limited number of grad assistantships that they give out. They can cover 1, 2, or all 3 of the courses and give you an opportunity to work on campus as well. And you can work on campus up to 20 hours a week, even if you don't have a graduate assistantship. So you might get a graduate assistantship, you won't get it in your first semester. Well, so how much do you have to pay for the first semester? Well, because you have to show the US government that you can cover all your costs for the first year, you need to have that much money in the bank, or your sponsor needs to have that much money in the bank. So for 12 months of cost of living would be about $20,000. And then for a master's program to take the 3 classes plus the 3 classes, because you must, be full-time, that's going to be about 18,000. So you're going to have to show to the US government, well, you have to show it to us so we can show it to the US government, between $38,000 and $40,000. And that's for 1 year, every single cost included in that. So
Another thing, if you're just asking about the semester fee, It depends on the number of courses you're taking. If you're taking 3, that is full time. That is usually required for international students. It is gonna be 10,000, around 10,000. But if you're taking reduced workload or in that situation, it's gonna be around 6 to 7,000. So it depends on the number of courses you're taking.
And normally the US law requires that you be a full-time student.
Yes.
There are a few exceptions. The exceptions is
Mhm.
in your first semester, if you're having trouble with English or you're just having trouble getting adjusted, we can lower it. Your last semester, if you've run out of credits to take, or if you have some kind of a health issue. Those are the 3 reasons why we can give you fewer credits, but normally you're expected to take a full load.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully we've answered all your questions. If you think of something else afterward, my email and my WhatsApp are in the chat, so you can grab them again if you would like. And other than that, let's see, is there anything else we should talk about? I see a few more. Medium of Instruction certificate is available. Oh, okay. So you're talking about for the English language. Okay, so for English language, you can take, in addition to IELTS and TOEFL, you could take a Duolingo exam, which you can do online for $49 and it can be scored immediately. Or if you did go to a school that taught you all in English, you're going to fill out a form, a waiver form, and attach a letter from your school principal or registrar, and they can get your English language waived. If you need some help with English, you can enroll in our English as a Second Language program first, which is called SAIL.
Another thing. So if you want that letter from your university or your school, just ask them for English proficiency letter, and they usually give it to students, depending on what university you go to. Personally, I didn't have to give any IELTS or TOEFL or GRE because I got all of them exempted because of my history when I came here earlier. And I had English proficiency letter, and my GPA was good enough to get my GRE waived off. So if you have something like that, if you fall into the required eligibility criteria or something, you'll probably get a waiver for both of those. You just have to show the right documents.
Well, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you, Nimra, for taking an hour out of your day. I really appreciate it. I think
No
students
problem.
appreciate hearing from another student more than hearing from me. So, and thank you to Education Concern for allowing us to do this.
Thank you very much, and see you again in few weeks. We will try to conduct these type of events at least once in a month, and I hope Ms. Nimra also join in every event, and so that if we work together, we will have very good result.
May
Yes.
I ask you a question?
Yes.
What universities are you looking at for in terms of students to get from, like, if that's possible? Like, we have a few students here. If you can let me know what university they're from, or if someone's here from UMT, that is the university I went to. UMT is a partner with NEIU, so probably we have like something more for them.
Okay.
So what universities do we have here?
Mean.
Students, do you want to just put your university in the chat, maybe?
Oh yes, you are asking from students. Okay.
Yeah, students.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Or what university do you get like students from usually? It's just a general question. It's nothing to do with the seminar session.
Do you work with students from particular universities, education concerned?
Yes, mostly like we have your university, and we have another Wichita State University, Wright State University, and also we have um, uh, Southeast Missouri State University.
Mhm.
Yes, and these are all state universities.
ओके
Well, thank-
पाकिस्तान में कौन कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटीज के बच्चे हैं आपके पास?
UMT तो बिल्कुल हमारे नेबरिंग में है. वी आर
हाँ
इन
वो मैंने
फैसल
देखी आपकी. आई सॉ योर लोकेशन, इट्स इन
Yes.
फैसल टाउन, राइट? या
Yes, फैसल टाउन. And हमारे पास students come from UMT, and if we talk about school, then Beacon House, LGS, the City School, Chandbagh. These are the schools from where we are getting students for US, Canada, and Australia and UK. These are our 4 markets where students are mostly going. So sometimes we receive students from LUMS, FAST. FAST is in Block A in Fesseltown, and we are Block C.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
That's good to hear.
yes.
So
Uh,
somebody has asked for your contact information.
yeah, I'm gonna
You don't-
send them in a direct message
Okay.
because I don't want to put my email out there,
Fair enough.
and I don't want to get like bombarded with emails.
That's what I'm for. That's my job. So you can
Yeah,
email
you
to me, and if there's a particular question, I can pass it on to Nimra.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
definitely email her and she'll pass it on to me. That's a great way.
Yes. And whenever someone asks you about local help, always give my WhatsApp number. I'm
Mhm.
always available for them for their admission, visa questions.
What's your name?
Farooq Lukman
Okay.
from Education Concern.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Farooq. I have to dash off. I'm now going to be in Peru. I'm leaving
Oh.
to go to Peru.
Oh.
So,
Oh, okay. Oh,
so, yeah.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you
the
very much. Have a nice
opportunity, and
time.
Thank you, Nimra. I really
Oh,
appreciate your
Thank
help.
you.
Okay.
Right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. जी स्टूडेंट मनाहिल आप अनम्यूट कर लें, और SF आप भी अनम्यूट कर लें. कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो मुझे बताएं. मनाहिल, आपकी लास्ट क्वालिफिकेशन क्या है? और अगर आप में से किसी ने आइल्स करना है या PT करना है तो आप हमारी क्लासेस अटेंड कर सकते हैं, ऑनलाइन भी और ऑन कैंपस भी. तो अगर करना हो तो मेरा नंबर आपके पास ऑलरेडी मौजूद होगा. होपफुली आप मुझसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. सो अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो आप मुझे अनम्यूट करके पूछ सकते हैं, अदरवाइज फिर इसको फिनिश करते हैं. ठीक है. ओके जी, फिर अल्लाह हाफिज.